One thing we've failed to do in the educational system is alert people that if you're doing what no one has done before, stuff goes wrong. And in fact, if nothing ever goes wrong in what you're doing, if you make no mistakes in your job, in whatever task you've brought upon yourself, then you're not on the frontier. Simple. It's true in science, and I heard it applied to car racing. There's a quote that I'm told, spoken by Mario Andretti. He said, if you are in complete control of your car, you're not in the race.
Oh, wow.
There's something that you're just not completely in control of.
I take that.
And only then can, and that's the same thing I'm describing for when you are on the frontier.
There's been many mistakes I've made. I think that have brought me, you know, have made me learn. You only learn, really, in this world from the mistakes you make, from hard times, from going through difficult periods. That's when you grow. And we should look at these moments as opportunities for growth and as almost blessings. Because if everything went smoothly all the time, we'd be very complacent and we'd stay in one place. And we'd never, ever stretch ourselves or question ourselves or want to be better people in a certain way. But these moments, they force us to do these things, and those mistakes that I can't just mention one mistake. I think of all so many things that, you know, through my life that I go, oh, that maybe wasn't the right thing to do, but if I hadn't have done that, then I wouldn't have known it wasn't the right thing to do. And so those things are necessary.
So many things go wrong when you're starting a company, and often I think people ask, you know, what mistakes should you avoid making? And you know, my answer to that question is don't even bother trying to avoid mistakes, because you're going to make tons of mistakes, right? And the important thing is actually learning quickly from whatever mistakes you make and not giving up, right? And I mean, there are things every single year of Facebook's existence that could have killed us or made it so that it just seemed like moving forward and making a lot of progress just seemed intractable, but you just kind of bounce back and you learn, and nothing is impossible. You just have to kind of keep running through the walls.
Every dude in this room blew their 20s and at 30 trying to fix what they should have did in their 20s. And so forth and so on. You turn 40, you're trying to recover from the mistakes you made when you're 30. Now at 40, man, it's time for you to start. Really, at 30, you need to start buckling it on down. And just realize, man, everybody make mistakes. And if the mistakes you're going through are going to help you become the person you need to be later on. I needed to mess up every marriage. I needed to get arrested like I did. I needed to get shot. I needed all this, dog. I needed to be homeless.
Nobody knows what you can do but you. Nobody can tell you. If I tell you all the people who told me I wasn't gonna act or sing or dance, or I wasn't good at it, or I should stop or I should quit, or even after I became famous, you know, for doing these things, you know, I would be locked in a house somewhere doing nothing. The truth is, nobody knows what's inside of you. Only you know what's inside of you. Only you know what you can accomplish and what you're capable of, and what your gut and your dreams and your desires and your wants and your ability, you only know. Nobody else knows. So whatever you feel in your heart and in your gut, you should follow that. Follow that. And then if that changes one day, that's fine too. Then you follow that. But you're the only one who knows. Nobody else.
I've had lots of bad luck in my life, but I think having bad luck is equally as important. Because when you have bad luck in life, you have to reflect. You have to take the knowledge from that experience. We've all been treated badly. We've all made mistakes. We've all had bad luck. So what we have to do is reflect, take the knowledge from that experience, and then allow it to enrich our life. It's as simple as that. And let's be honest, when people say, do you have any regrets, Marco? I say no. Because had it not been for all those mistakes I made, I wouldn't have the knowledge that I have today. And I wouldn't have the experience that I have today. Because mistakes are fine as long as you take the knowledge from the mistake.
Failure is part of life. I mean, the difference for me, though, is I look at failure as a stepping stone to success. It's a speed bump. I know I'm going to fail, but it's not failure if you learn something. And so, gosh, I've made so many mistakes. I've screwed so many things up, but every time I do, it just becomes a way for me to explain to someone else what it takes. You know, it's like, here's what I've done. I think I have the ability to influence people because I talk about my failures. I talk about all the things that messed me up, but I show people that I didn't let it stop me, and you don't let it stop you. And I think that's really the secret in that area.
And if everything you touch was successful, you
First,
probably won't be able to relate to people as much.
No, you'll be relate, and also it's be total bullshit, and everyone knows it's bullshit. And also you'd be bored silly. I mean, think about it. If you just said, I want this and happen, I want this and happen, you know, people don't value what they don't fight for. You know, it's like you see kids sometimes, you know, your parents will say, you're not going to value this if you don't work for it. And your kid going, I'll value it, just give it to me, right? But it's true. You know, the things we've worked the hardest for, we value the most. So I think, you know, the purpose of a goal is not getting it anyway. The purpose of a goal, you know, is who you become. Who you become is going to make you happy or it's going to make you sad.
When did I feel like I went from ordinary to extraordinary? I have to tell you that I always felt from my parents that you could achieve anything so long as you worked hard. They were like all about hard work and being able to accomplish whatever it is that you wanted to accomplish. Like that was the idea that was put in my head very young. And you know, I like when they asked me, you know, like, what would you want to be up there? And they gave me a choice of all these words. And I said, be extraordinary, because I feel like we're all extraordinary. Nobody's the same. There's no two people that are alike. And honestly, we all have the capacity and we all have it in us, the ability to do whatever it is that we want to do. And all we have to do is kind of just put our minds to it and just work hard, and you can make anything happen.
You don't have to hold yourself hostage to who you used to be or anything you ever used to do. Because who has lived and hasn't made mistakes? When I think about my 20s and what a foolish girl I was and how I would give over my power to men who really didn't mean me well, but now I hold no grudges against them either, because I realized I'm the one who gave over the power because I didn't know any better. And now that I know better, I know I don't have to do that again. It's one of the most powerful lessons any of us can ever know.
Don't even bother trying to avoid mistakes, because you're going to make tons of mistakes, right? And the important thing is actually learning quickly from whatever mistakes you make and not giving up.